Well, this is it. Today is the day we complete Route 66. We're only about an hour away from Chicago. It's been a long and crazy journey. And of course, there's always the journey back, but let's ignore that for a second. And we're almost there. Just about an hour's drive away. Undoubtedly, when we get to the city, there'll be nowhere to park, nowhere to pull over, difficult to film anything. Honestly, Chicago deserves its own whole separate trip to film Chicago-y things. That's not what's important today. What's important is that we complete the mission. I gotta be honest with you, I woke up with a little anxiety about it. I woke up with a little stress, like, that's it. I don't really like driving around in big cities. I don't really like doing the whole big city thing. I like the open road more. But it's time to complete the quest. I think I'm ready. Are you? Good, because it's time to put the final miles of Route 66 under these tires. Just had to make one last stop for gas before Chicago, so where better than the Route 66 food and fuel? They got the lowest cigarette prices in town! And Beggar's Pizza. Also video gaming. But I think the coolest thing is hiding around back. It's the Bluesmobile up on a pole. It's hard to see, but Joliet, Jake, and Elwood Blues are up in there. Did you guys know the Blues Brothers were named for Route 66 towns? Elwood is a town just down there, and Joliet is right up yonder. Joliet has something actually pretty cool that I'd like to see. First, we just gotta roll up into the downtown area. Look at this small brick building here, right off Route 66. It's a very small building, doesn't look like much. I think you can buy insurance here now. But in 1940, the ground floor of this building became the world's first Dairy Queen. How about that? Soft serve ice cream was a brand new thing, invented I think in Kankakee, Illinois, down that way somewhere. And once they had their invention, they opened their first store serving just the ice cream right here, Dairy Queen. Look at that, it achieved landmark status, the original Dairy Queen. Oh man, it is super hot today. I wish that building still had some tasty ice cream in it. I don't need insurance, I need a blizzard. Oh yeah, and let's not forget, speaking of the Blues Brothers, Joliet is also home to this. Old Joliet Prison, maybe familiar to Blues Brothers fans as the spot where good old Jake gets out of prison. Look at this place, an abandoned prison. They don't lock any comedians up in here anymore. That's amazing. They filmed the movie, I'm pretty sure, right here. Man, this place is huge. Look at this, it's bigger than Wayne Manor. I'd love to go exploring in there, you know, as a visitor, not as a prisoner, no. Look at the size of that pokey. Joliet is very proud of their Blues Brothers heritage. Seriously, these guys are everywhere. Wow, look at that old ice cream stand. Rich and creamy. Look at this, even the local towing company's getting in on the act. Dick's on 66, Dick's Towing. Look at that car there. California or bust. That'll be us tomorrow. Wow, I love seeing these old cars. Okay, now I'm just procrastinating. Onwards, down the road. Little fun fact for you, Joliet actually used to be called Juliet once upon a time, and the upcoming town of Romeoville? Well, that's right. It used to be called Romeo. Then I guess they broke up and changed their names. How Shakespearean! Ooh, wait a minute. What's that? Hey, it's the famous White Fence Farm. It's a landmark Route 66 restaurant. At the moment, it seems to be closed, but I had to pull over to take a look at this guy, making me miss my little buddy Julio. Well, this is pretty cool. How many restaurants do you see with a petting zoo outside? Kinda nice. You can come pet the chickens before you eat them. Ooh, dinner. All right, something like 20 miles left to go till we're in Chicago. This is the part where we join the interstate. I-55 was laid right on top of old Route 66 through much of Chicago. The open road portion of our journey is finished, friends. For better or for worse, we're in the Chicago area now. All right, back off the interstate now, onto the city streets, and up ahead in the far, far distance. I know it's hard to see, I can see the Chicago skyline. Holy cow, guys. Well, luckily Ogden Avenue is nice and wide. Route 66 was right down this path for a long time. I guess there's nothing left for us to do now but follow the route right into the city, down into Chicago. Chi-Town, the Windy City. Chicago! It's a little different than the wide open spaces of New Mexico. I don't see any Cadillac ranches or Indian trading posts here. But it's a Route 66, all right. Almost there. Almost there. Stay on target. Stay on target. almost there. Oh my gosh, we did it. This is it. Jackson Boulevard, Chicago. This is the end. This is the end run. Almost an end stretch, the home stretch. Our last kick on 66. I don't want it to be over. Come on, give me a couple more miles. No, snap out of it. It's time to finish the job. And now all that's left to do is make our way through downtown Chicago. Wow, what a view. And oh my Lord. There's the sign. There's the sign right there. We did it. I don't know how, but we did it. That sign was the end. This intersection is the end of Route 66. We made it 2,400 something miles. Oh, my odometer says 4,000 something. Well, we did a lot of different parts, but we did it. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to feel right now. Okay, first of all, we need to find some place to park. Oh my gosh, we did it. Oh my gosh, look. There's the lake. There's freaking Lake Michigan. Oh, wow. Wow. It's 90 something degrees out here, but I don't care. I started with the jacket. I'm gonna finish with the jacket. I did it. You guys, I did it. Chicago, home of Steve Urkel, Al Capone, Al Bundy, and the end or the start of Route 66. Normally I'm a pretty cool customer, but I'm actually shaking a little bit. In 30 something days, I've gone from the shores of the Pacific Ocean to the shores of Lake Michigan. From the Santa Monica Pier to this, Grant Park in Chicago, the shores of Lake Michigan. It took me longer and more miles to do this than it did for me to go from coast to coast last year. But it was worth every mile, and I did it all by myself. Aren't you proud of me, ducks? Look, Chicago ducks. Oh my gosh, this has been one heck of an adventure. Now there's just one thing left to see, and it's not Buckingham Fountain, which by the way is one of the largest fountains in the world, modeled sort of after one from Versailles and dedicated in 1927, only 1 year after Route 66 started flowing out of this city. No, we've got to go back to the sign. Ooh, it's just a short walk away in this 90 something degree heat. Good thing I wore this jacket. Oh, here it is, Jackson and Michigan Avenue. All these miles later, the end of Route 66. Unbelievable how far we've come. Look at this, those ladies right there are from China, and they also just drove from California. I think it took them a little less time than it took me. Wow, this is amazing. Look at that. The end of Route 66. This was a lifetime dream for me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. My eyes are a little bit sweaty, and it's not just the temperature. They're sweaty with respect. Respect for all those historical pioneers, for all those mom and pop business owners, for all of you for sticking with me through the whole ride, and respect for the journey. Oh, we've come a long way from home. You'll notice this is a one-way street here on Jackson at the end of Route 66. They had to split the highway because of traffic. If you come around the corner, 2 left turns or a short walk away, you come to Adams Street, and then you get to do it all over again. What's wrong with me? Oh, there's so much to see and do in Chicago, but like I said, it wasn't about the destination. It was about the journey, and now I have another journey to make. But in another way, for the rest of my life, as long as I live, I will never forget this journey. The stories we heard, the people that we met, the places we went, the things that we saw, all the way from Los Angeles, across the desert, through Arizona and New Mexico, down the old Santa Fe Trail, through all of these amazing landscapes. Sometimes it was a little difficult out on the road, but through it all, you guys were with me across that entire journey. I can't believe how many old parts of Route 66 we saw, how we watched the landscape change from desert to mountains to plains to prairies. The stories and the scenery may have changed over time, but through it all was one winding constant. Route 66. The Mother Road, the Main Street of America, Route 66. And now, one part of our journey is coming to a close. But luckily, this highway will now be part of us forever. I'm overwhelmed with emotion, and I could use a little sleep, so I know it's a little short today, but I'm just gonna leave you right here because I've done it. I've done my duty. Now I can go home and sleep well. I can't believe it. This is one of the highlights of my life, but not the highlight of my day. All right, guys, there's one thing left to do. Come with me. 2 hours outside of Chicago. 2 hours of driving to get to something very important. We've literally come so far off Route 66. We're about 5 minutes from Wisconsin, but it was worth it. Because somebody told me that if I came to Antioch, Illinois, I would find true love. And they were right. Look it. I am so happy. Look at this. The most beautiful girl in the world. Okay, now I can hotel and sleep well.